Donald Pease, this is completely fascinating. I thought you were a literary critic, and it turns out you're a psychoanalyst.
Well, literary critics are bed partners in psychoanalysts. You can't be a decent literary critic without believing, I think, in the psyche.
Transnational
American exceptionalism. Floating signifier.
Donald Pease, this is fascinating and a little bit scary.
Floating signifier. American exceptionalism. Expellees, outcasts, renegades, political prisoners from across the planet, mariners, renegades, and castaways. Melville, in the passage in which he addresses the spirit of liberty, says he wants to make the meanest mariners, renegades, and castaways the true heroes of this book, which means he wants to enable them to revolt against Captain Ahab.
Donald Pease, this is fascinating and a little bit scary.
Mariners, renegades, and castaways. Mariners, renegades, and castaways. What James sees that no one sees is that Melville has produced a desire for a transnational, multicultural, completely hospitable ship of state that only the mariners, renegades, and castaways can achieve. It is as if Melville, who feels the Civil War coming, you feel that he knows the war is coming, and he knows what that will mean. He knows that once the Civil War comes, that the imperial state formation, the North, will produce an imperial state formation that will produce an isolated nation. He knows that. At the same time as he constructs a plot in which he shows the catastrophic outcome of that with Ahab, Ishmael, and Starbuck, he's producing at the same time this alternative to that, which is a space which is the space of open hospitality, endless hospitality to every stranger across the globe. That's the crew.
Donald Pease, this is fascinating and a little bit scary.
Mariners, renegades, and castaways. Expellees, outcasts, renegades, political prisoners from across the planet. Mariners, renegades, and castaways. C.l.r. James turned Moby Dick into a cricket game in which he allowed figures who had been unrepresented previously, the crew, to become the primary what James saw cricketers do on the cricket base, which he paid attention in cricket to the way in which a certain player's style of playing could result in the need to produce a new rule in cricket, where just the freedom of the way of playing by figures who were not hyper-regular, by the rules of the game, could add a play that required the production of a new rule, which was for C.l.r. James the manifestation of the freedom of the colonized other in relation to the colonizing power. Mariners, renegades, and castaways.
Donald Pease, this is fascinating and a little bit scary.